Welcome to Nigel Nit-Boy Part 2. I've got plenty of thoughts rolling in my head and questions. How about you? I'm wondering, is he really one of the worst children? I know he's disgusting and he's got disgraceful habits. But so far I thought the people may have deserved it a little bit. Not sure about Mr. Humdrum or whatever his name was. The lady that was doing the other thing, maybe. Okay, get ready for Nigel Nit-Boy. I love the superhero, turning nits into a superhero power. Now, Nit-Boy was ready to have his revenge on his headmaster, the elderly Mr. Sour Chops had suspended Nigel from school after his 10th detention for reading comic books in lessons. The headmaster was a small and timid man, so Nit-Boy thought he would frighten him. Nigel stood in the playground just below the window of the headmaster's office. He closed his eyes in concentration. Nits, shape shift, he ordered. Slowly, the tiny insects swarmed together into the shape of a giant super nit. Well, as the boy kept his eyes tightly shut, a look of intense concentration on his face, the giant nit shape surged upwards to the headmaster's window. It banged on the glass with a huge claw. Clunk, clunk, clunk. Mr. Sour Chops swiveled around in his chair and shrieked, "No!" The giant nit bashed its great head against the window, breaking the glass. Crack! "Help!" screamed the headmaster as he dashed out of his office. Running into the playground, Mr. Sour Chops spotted a wheelie bin. Checking behind himself all the time for the giant super nit, the little old man pushed the bin as hard as he could before leaping into it as it was speeding away. Finally, Nit-Boy opened his eyes and watched in glee as his headmaster trundled across the playground in the bin. Maybe he's not quite so nice, because I think he deserved his suspension for ignoring what he was supposed to be doing. It bashed into a low wall. Clang! Oh no. Sending the little old man flying through the air straight into a tree trunk. Clunk! The nits swarmed back to their master's head as Nigel strode out of the school gates. There was plenty more super villainy to be done. There's his cape. Maybe I'm changing my mind about him. Not long after, Nit-Boy arrived in the market square, which was teeming with bargain hunters. Using his nits, Nigel spelled out the letters of a very rude word in the sky. I wonder what that rude word says. bottoms. One old lady was so shocked she fainted at the sight. Ah. Next, Nit-Boy turned his attention to the local toy shop. The supervillain ordered his nits to steal every single item in the store, including the till. Okay, now he has really gone past the line. The shop owner chased the boy down the street, but he was whacked over the head by the nits with one of his own giant teddy bears. Yet there was still more chaos and destruction to come. Suddenly, lights flashed and a siren wailed. The police had been sent to stop Nigel from creating further mayhem. But Nit-Boy ordered his nits to attack the police car, and they swarmed onto his windscreen. The glass became so thick with nits that the policeman crashed straight into the window of an optician. Now you can see where you are going. With my new glasses, I don't think. Smash! Nothing could stop Nit-Boy now. He felt invincible. Soon the whole world would kneel before him. All hail Nit-Boy! Later that night, Nigel had put on his pyjamas and was lying in bed. Even supervillains need their sleep. The boy was dreaming up the next day's evil schemes. However, outside in the street stood a throng of townsfolk. Love that word, throng. Armed not with flaming torches and pitchforks, as in the tradition with angry mobs, but with an array of combs. Nit-Boy had to be robbed of his powers, and there was only one way to do that. So he began to chant, "Comb his hair, comb his hair, comb his hair." The chant became louder and louder as the mob grew angrier and angrier. Comb his hair, comb his hair. Nigel leapt from his bed and peeked out of his window. Looking down, he saw more and more people rushing out of their houses to join the horde. In a swirling whirl of nits, Nigel changed out of his pyjamas to become Nit-Boy. He marched outside and approached the mob. With his Wellington boots on and his cape, which was really one of his mum's old skirts, flapping in the wind, Nit-Boy felt ready to take on the world. His millions of nits had now multiplied into billions, or maybe even trillions. Asterisk. When at the end of a page, or bottom of the page, they want to explain something. It would be hard to give you an exact number because nits won't stay still, making counting them impossible. They buzzed round the boy's head, blacking out the scattering of stars in the night sky. I think we're coming to the climax of the story. What will happen next? Will Nit-Boy win? Will the people with combs win? There he is, shouted someone. It's Nit-Boy! Get him! The mob surged forwards, brandishing their combs. The old lady who had fainted in the market square was holding a large bottle of anti-nit shampoo called Nit Blitz. On the label it said, "The sworn enemy of the nit. This highly toxic and foul-smelling shampoo is poisonous to all known nits. It is guaranteed to kill nits until they're totally and utterly, completely dead." So it sounds very much like that nit shampoo that we get. Unable to contain his anger a moment longer, the old lady hurled the bottle at Nigel. It bounced off his hair and hit her on the head, knocking her out cold. The boy still stood his ground. Once again he commanded his nits. "Nits, lift!" The nits swooped downwards to create a hoverboard up under their master's feet. Then they lifted him off the ground with laughable ease. The crowd gasped in shock. This supervillain could actually fly! I think they're in trouble. Nit-Boy has become all-powerful. The boy zoomed through the night sky, performing an impressive loop-the-loop before hovering over the mob. "Now you go back to your homes, or you will feel the full force of Nit-Boy." The townsfolk began muttering to each other dejectedly. They knew they were beaten, yet still no one moved. "Disperse!" Nit-Boy ordered the crowd. But his nits must have thought he was talking to them. Nits are not known for their intelligence. As far as I know, no nit has performed brain surgery or been involved in rocket science. So the nits dispersed. I think I know what it means now, dispersed. Led by Mr. Henderson, they all buzzed off in different directions, disappearing into the sky. Nit-Boy looked down at the people below. He gulped as he began to plummet downwards. He tumbled through the air, desperately flapping his arms. "Help!" The crowd surged out of the way, and Nigel landed head first on the pavement. Fortunately, such was the volume of hair on his head that he survived the fall without injury. "Grab him!" someone shouted. Nigel was carted off to the local hairdresser's, where his hair was washed with Nit Blitz shampoo, and he was given a very sensible short back and sides. All remaining nits or nit eggs were combed out of Nigel's hair, and he had to make a promise in front of the whole town. I solemnly swear never, ever to become Nit-Boy again. You might be surprised to learn that, even though he was one of the world's worst children, Nigel kept his promise. Nit-Boy was never seen again. However, some time later, Nigel came up with another supervillain to be. From now on, he would be known as... I wonder who he's going to be. Stay tuned for more exciting adventures of... Veruca Boy. Veruca? What is a Veruca? Or Veruca? Looking at the arrow, I think I can work it out. A supervillain who refused to wear a plastic sock at the swimming pool, thereby unleashing a plague of Verucas on the world. And the best part was that Nigel could reuse the cape that was really his mum's old skirt. Now, I'm guessing a Veruca or Veruca is like one of those yucky wart things that grow on your feet if you get them out of the shower and things like that, public showers, but we're pretty good. That's why I always wear thongs. There was another asterisk. Again, fortunately, the name had not already been taken. Who would want to be known as Whiteboard? And Raj, Verucas or Verusas are no laughing matter. I think this is a very English word. Yuck. He is a pretty ordinary person after all.